Okay, this is my final presentation of makeup styles throughout history. So I used a lot of photos for reference, and these are just kind of some examples of some of the ones that I used. For example, this is an ancient Greek makeup style. This is the Renaissance. This is the Victorian era. This is the 1920s. This is the 1950s, this is the 1980s, and this is today, so 2024. I will just show my time lapses.
I started by using my regular foundation to have something to build on. I also darkened my cheekbones a tiny bit just so that I could not get completely lost once I added the really light powder that I used all over my face to try and make me look a little bit lighter, but where I already have fair skin, it didn't do a whole bunch. Then I darkened my eyebrows and extended them a little bit to have a little bit more of a unibrow look. Before I started on my eyelashes, I couldn't quite get this eyeshadow to work on just my lashes, so what I ended up doing was trying with eyeliner and then just using eyeliner as you normally would, but with just a really thin line so that it didn't look too much like eyeliner. Then I took a couple different colors on my lips and just brightened them up a little bit with kind of a berry look, and that was my look.
So I did all of that, and then this is how it turns out, but I won't watch the whole video just because it would get kind of long.
And a little bit better lighting.
So as you can see, I definitely extended my eyebrows, brightened up my cheeks a little bit, and then just tried to tone it all back with that really light powder. This also was a light berry because they would crush berries and put them on their lips.
I started by using my regular foundation.
Then here is my Renaissance.
My Renaissance makeup look, I used my regular foundation and then some white powder to try and make myself look a little bit paler. And then I curled my eyelashes and defined my cheekbones before using the same color blush as I did on my lips to try and match and use the same products.
This then turned into this look.
And this is how the Renaissance.
So as you can see, again, pretty similar to the ancient Greek style, but I did not extend my eyebrows at all, so I would consider this to be a more natural look, and I feel like that was reflected in the art pieces, much like the one that I showed earlier.
My Renaissance. Okay, and this is.
And then this is the Victorian era.
This time I used my regular foundation to cover my blemishes while still looking really lightweight, and then I curled my eyelashes and brushed through them as well as my eyebrows, and then I added a couple of different tinted lip balms to still give a natural look.
And then this was how it turned out. It was very natural.
Okay, this is how
a lot of this was because people didn't like the look of makeup back then, and this was largely because of the stereotype that would come with it, that you're either trying to change your God-given appearance, which they didn't like, or that you were just trying too hard, which again they didn't like. So they kept their makeup looking very, very natural.
This time I used my
I'm sorry. And then here's the 1920s.
To do my 1920s makeup look, I started by using really lightweight foundation, and then I added more to my eyebrow on top to create an illusion of a really arched eyebrow. And then I started on my smoky eye. I started by using a dark eyeliner and then additional dark eyeshadow colors. I then started on my lips by really, really outlining them, and then I added reds until I used my dark lip gloss on top.
Okay, and then this was how it turned out.
Okay.
So they would use really dark berry colors on their lips. More like just think dark reds. That was really, really much the trend. And they would also really define their Cupid's bow, which is why I used a brown liner so that it would show up even more, have a little bit more of a contrast. They would also do the dark smoky eye, and that's shown, and really arched eyebrows. So someone you can think of too is Clara Bow. She was really big during this time period, and she has really thin, really arched eyebrows and just pretty exaggerated features.
To do my
And then in the 1950s, this is what I did.
I'm sorry, I accidentally filmed this one a little differently, so it's a little bit slower. But for my 1950s makeup look, I just used a tinted moisturizer to try and make my skin look a little bit more glowy, but still really, really natural. And then I just barely contoured my cheekbones and nose a little bit, just again to look a little bit more natural. Then I elongated my eyebrows to make more of a arched look, and this was before I started on my eyeliner. I know it's coming next. So I used a little bit of eyeliner just on the top of each eye, and I did a little bit of a cat eye to make them stand out just a tiny bit more than they normally would before curling my eyelashes. I then lined my lips in my eyebrow pencil and then just blended it so it looked really natural, and used a coral lipstick.
And this was how it turned out.
Okay, this is
So
my 19...
the 1950s, I really think of kind of that magazine poster kind of look. And the look was natural, but it was also very clean and just very refined. So they would use natural lip colors. A lot of them were coral, pink, and red. Similar to the 1920s, they would have really arched eyebrows that were also fairly thin, though not quite as thin, and then just really natural eye makeup. So this was how that one turned out. And then here is the 1980s.
In the 80s, it was all about color. So after using just a little bit of natural makeup, I put on some pink lipstick on my eyelids and used the same one for my cheeks. I also added a little bit of eyeshadow as eyeliner, and that was really...
Sorry, that cut off a little bit, but that was really all I did. And then this was how it turned out. You can see that it was pretty vibrant, but also everything else is pretty natural. My lips had a little bit of that color, but really because pink and blue were really popular eyeshadow colors, that's what I wanted to show. And then my eyebrows, you can tell I haven't done anything to them. And this is because I remember my mom telling me that when she grew up, it was the 80s, and she never even plucked her eyebrows. She said that she couldn't believe the trend that came in the early 2000s of having really, really thin eyebrows, because in the 80s, they never did anything to them. So that's why I didn't touch my eyebrows.
And in the 80s, it was all about color.
Then this is how I do my makeup every day.
This is a modern makeup look and how I do my makeup every day. I just use a lightweight foundation and add some dots for contour. I usually just do my nose, my forehead, and my cheekbones. I'll then add just a tiny line for my eyebrows to darken those a little bit, and then use a really natural looking kind of berry color for my lips.
So I really don't wear too much. This was how it turned out. I feel like there are a lot of trends right now because of social media, especially Instagram, where people can kind of share all of their makeup ideas. So this is at least how I've been doing it for the past few months. I don't know how soon it's going to change or when I'm going to get bored of it or figure out something else that I like even more, but for right now, this is how I do my makeup. And so I just said that I would consider this to be a modern makeup look because I live in the modern day and do my makeup this way.
This is a modern makeup look.
Here's what I learned, just a little reflection. Kind of like I mentioned, I think it's really cool that we now have social media and that capitalism and everything, that we're able to change the standards of beauty really quickly. I feel like this can be dangerous, not really in makeup trends, but that nowadays people are using a lot of like plastic surgery and Botox and filler and just different ways to modify themselves, I feel like that's kind of transforming into just being seen as makeup, which not totally sure how I feel about that. Just that the trends can change so fast, and that now we're changing more than just makeup, but really ourselves. But yeah, I really like that there are a lot of trends that, or I guess I wouldn't really even call them trends, just classic beauty. Like having the natural lip look that's just a little bit brightened. That's been popular pretty much always. Same with having slightly darker eyes. I just thought that was really cool that there are so many similarities while each look is definitely different. And then here are some websites that I used in my research. If you're interested in learning more, I would highly recommend checking those out. Thank